Yours.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Okay, so good evening, guys. So we'll have the concluding session on operations management today. So yesterday we had a discussion on operations management, the importance of operations management in the overall functioning of the business. We have also discussed yesterday that operations management is the actual place where you put your plans into action. Okay, we have also seen yesterday that all the core branches, all the core activities of an entire business organization, be it finance, be it marketing, be it HR, be it them include some sort of core activities, some basic activities, and some transformational activities. So the set of all such activities that is responsible for the full overall functioning of the business incorporates a set of operations. So in each and every activities that we perform, in each and every operations that we perform, okay, this operations helps us in achieving the overall objective and goals of the organization. Okay, so we have also seen yesterday that I have tried to explain yesterday by using a chart that how is the overall productivity, or you can make your organization effective. Okay, you have seen three different where you the first scenario was by increasing the sales, through which you can increase your overall margin. You have also seen by reducing your financing cost or your debt portion. Okay, because we know that we have to pay interest on our debt that take from financial institutions, that we take as a means of term loan. Okay, so the more we can reduce, that debt portion. Okay, so it also helps in increasing our net margin. But overall, you have seen that even if the debt component is significantly low, still it does not help in achieving the overall effectiveness of the organization. And the final one you have seen, and the final optimization you have seen in terms of cost management. So if you can reduce your cost, okay, because we know that when we go for production, okay, there are two portions of our cost. We have got a fixed cost, we have got a variable cost. Okay, so if you can, and we know that fixed cost, after a particular fixed cost remains fixed no matter how many units we produce. But for variable cost, okay, there is for each and every unit produced, the variable cost increases proportionately. So if we can devise a method, or you can use some innovations, or you can use some technology, technology advancement, or some other industrial inputs, okay, through which we can improve our cost effectiveness, that also helps in increasing our margin. So okay, so based on that, our today's discussion will be on developing a project timeline. Now, what is basically a project timeline in layman terms, if I explain you, is that it is basically the schedule activities. Now, when you start with your enterprise, okay, okay, you need to know, first of all, you need to know what will be your activities. Okay, overall, you can say that, sir, I'll go for marketing, will go for production, okay, and then I will achieve my product, and then I will sell my product in the market, and then I will generate revenue, then I will pay off my cost. Okay, I will pay off the salaries, I will pay off interest, and finally I will have a profit. Okay, now this is basically the overall picture. But the main objective is, whenever you write a business plan, under the operation section, and say you present as the overall objective is, say you want to present your business plan to prospective investors. Okay, because we consider that if you have a business plan, you want to present it to prospective investors. You may approach a financial institution, you may approach a bank, or you may approach some venture capitalist, or you may approach some angel investors. Okay, so when you approach those persons, in search of them participating in startup or financing your startup, they will ask you, what is your schedule of activities, how have you planned, How have you planned to reach your operation? So in that case, when they ask you such question, if you say the overall picture, sir, this is my unit, I will have production here, okay, I will have my manufacturing plant here, I will I will make 2000 kilos of product, okay, for making 2000 kilos of product, this will be my cost, I will sell this 2000 kilos of product in the market, okay, then I will generate revenue, then I will pay off my expenses, and finally I will have the net margin. So he will ask you to draw a schedule of activities. Okay, how do you plan to do that? What is your schedule? What is your timeline? For example, say say you want to you want to start a a shoemaking company. Okay, so first of all, you'll have to procure the machines, second of all, you'll have to procure the raw materials, and most importantly, you'll have to develop your project site or your plan site. Okay, so you need to have a timeline. Okay, it is how you propose the activities, the core activities that is responsible for your overall business success. They are planned. So you will have, so what you can do, you can project all those things maybe in Excel. Okay, the most important, the most valuable software that you can use is Excel. Several tutorials are available online through which you can project these implementation techniques on Excel. Okay, what is basically your project timeline? As it is say, project timeline is the core element of project implementation. Okay, it captures what a project will accomplish. So what your project will accomplish overall, see, overall, by saying that I want to produce 10,000 kilos of say 10,000 kilos of oyster mushroom, if you say, so this is your overall picture in a nutshell. But what are the technicalities involved? What are the various processes involved? What are the various steps involved? In one step, you won't be able to produce your mushrooms. Okay, so there are several steps involved. You will have to project them line by line. Okay, you'll have to project that within the first month I will procure the on. Within the next 1 month, I will go for inoculation. Within the next 1 month, okay, I will the breeding will take place. In the next 1 month, fruiting will take place, and finally you can say that the finished product or the final product will come out. Then I will set it. Then I will set it, generate my revenue. So over this is the so you will have to present in the form of a timeline. Okay, so basically project timeline you can create this with the help of Excel. Okay, what will your timeline element? Moving on, discussing about the timeline elements, you will be having some sort of timeline elements. So what will be your timeline elements? So what are the things you need to include in your timeline? In your business plan, when you in business plan under operation section, when you include your project timeline, what are the things you need to include? First of all, you will have to include the list of tasks to be completed. You can create an Excel table. Okay, you can take the help of MS Excel. You can create a pivot table. Use a pivot table, and using a pivot table, you can first of all write down the list of tasks to be completed. Now, when you write down list of tasks, you need to keep in mind that this has to be the basic task. First of all, you can say that see, you don't start with directly production. Okay, you have to break it down. What are the various steps involved in production? What are the various steps involved in production? You will have to break it down. So first of all will be, say, development of the plant side, development of the production side. This will take 3 months. Then procurement of raw material. This will take 2. You will hire 10 to 12 people to do your production activities. So training of those workers or artisans. Say this will take another 5 months. Okay, so you can and to make it much more illustrative, you can go for comparison a comparison chart on the basis of what have you actually planned and what has actually happened. Because as I've said, that operations is basically when you go to the ground and you go for production. Okay, so that will be basically your ground reality when you get to have a reality check, because you get lots of, okay, during a project execution. Will procure in the first 1 month, but it might take you 1.5 or 2 months. So your project might get delayed. So this is how you can actually go for a comparison. And how benefits is that in the overall picture, we during course of time, okay, say you have done this is your basically startup, say the next year and the next year's time to come. Okay, because the business cycle keeps on repeating itself. So during the next cycle, you can refer to this timeline chart and you can go for improving the loopholes that is during the first year of its implementation. So these are the ways you need to focus on the various elements and you need to break them into in the format of core activities. Okay, so the so as it has been said, the first of all you have to list down tasks to be completed. Second, the dates on which the tasks need to be completed. So you can go here in the second point, you can go for a comparison chart, you can go for a planned date, okay, and you can go for an actual date. I have given some examples later in this, refer to, okay. You can go for plan. Say I have planned that these activities will be completed within the first 1 month, but in reality these activities got completed. Okay, in reality these activities got completed say within a period of 45 to 60 days. So these are some differences you will get. Okay, next, the expected duration of each task. You can focus on the expected duration of each task. Okay, say as I've said that you can expect that the raw material procurement will take about 1 month. So this is your expectation, but yeah, you'll also, but it will depend, because procuring raw material depends on several factors. Okay, finance is a factor, your supply chain will also be a factor, transportation or logistics is also a factor. Okay, so there are several factors that might help you or that might act as a hindrance when you go for production. So you can draw a comparison chart between expected dates and actual dates. Okay, and finally, dependencies between tasks. Now what is dependencies between tasks? Dependencies between tasks basically represents that certain tasks are interrelated. As long as the first task is not completed, you cannot go for the second task. Although it may happen that also it is also possible that both tasks have started at the same time, but the completion of the second task may depend on the completion of the first task. For example, say your say plant, okay, say plant side development and your procurement of raw materials, so you can do this at the same time. Okay, but your production won't start. Your production won't start as long as these two basic amenities are available with you. As your these two basic amenities, such as your plant site has been developed, as well as your raw materials has been procured. So there are interdependencies. You will find that there are tasks are independent. There will be certain tasks which are dependent. So you'll also have to list down the interdependencies between the several elements. Now, how you can create a timeline? Okay, so these are some of the basic industry standards that are followed through which you can create a timeline. So first of all, you need to start with the list of deliverables and tasks. Okay, what are the various tasks that needs to be completed before you go for the final production? In case of manufacturing or in case of service delivery, you need to list down the various activities that has to be done when you go for delivery of services. Okay, then you can do break down tasks into tasks. For example, production. This production term is basically in itself is whole in entirety. So you'll have to break down this term production into several, because when you say production of oyster mushrooms, okay, so you'll have to break it down into several stages, because this term, I'll go for production of oyster mushroom, this basically says the overall picture. Okay, but you will have to break it down because there are several stages involved. For example, procurement, production, say procurement of that straw, okay, whether it is soybean straw or bajra straw or whatever. Okay, then your inoculation stage is there, incubation stage is there, fruiting is there. Okay, then growth stage is, and finally the end product. Okay, so this is basically the production stage. So you'll have to break those tasks into subtasks. Then estimate time needed to complete each task. You'll have to estimate what will be the time needed to complete each task. Here you can go for a comparison chart where you basically draw a chart, okay, to simultaneously show how much time you have expected that this particular task will be completed, and actually in how much amount of time this particular task is getting completed. Then identify dependencies among subtasks. You'll have to identify the dependencies among subtasks. If task number A can be done ahead of task number B, or task number A and B should go together, or as long as task number A and task number B cannot start with task number C. Okay, so as long, because when you write down your business plan, you will come to know that under your operation section there will be several activities. Some of which will be independent, some of which will be dependent, and some of which will have some preceding set of activities. Unless and until those are not completed, you can't go to those succeeding activities. Okay, then distribute across a real time scale. For example, your production Now you cannot take you cannot take entire lifetime for production. Your machine setup and everything has to be completed within a feasible time period. Okay, it has to be completed within a feasible time period. So you will have to distribute it across a real time scale. Not take 3 years production. Okay, it has to be objective. It is basically said your objectives has to be smart. Okay, specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time bound. Okay, so all your objectives basically has to be built up on that particular scale. Next, you will have to pick an activity defined in your log frame. So according to your time frame, you have to schedule your activities. You have to identify all subtasks within the activity. Now some activity may involve several subtasks. As I have said, that production itself is a whole term. Now under production there are several stages, there are several sub activities or smaller tasks that has to be incorporated, okay, or has to be considered before you go for the wholesome term production. Next, identify who is principally responsible for each task. Okay, now this is where you need to consider your management team. You must have attended session, okay, where ma'am has basically spoken about the management teams. Okay, where under your management team, you basically talk about the expertise that your team members have. Okay, say you have a team member, you have a team of 5 to 6 people. So all those 5 to 6 people will have expertise in different relevant fields. Okay, so you will have to assign specific tasks to such specific persons. Okay, so who will be principally responsible for this particular task? Okay, you will have to allocate that. Say unless and until, for example, say before your product comes, sometimes you may go for marketing. You must have seen, say just to give you on a similar scale, just an example, you must have seen a year or 2 years back. Okay, I have seen it all over Meghalaya and in Assam, that before the you must have seen hoardings. You must have seen hoardings and billboards written tiger aa raha hai. Okay, you must have seen tiger aa raha hai, something like that. Okay, so we had different notions what kind of advertising it is. It may refer to what. Later we came to know that it was a cement farm. Okay, so this sometimes you may, so these are certain activities you may go for. Sometimes before your production you may go for publicity. Okay, you may go for promotion of your product, or which is basically the most obvious one, when you try to launch a new product into the market. Okay, where you want to have your own segmented set of customers, where you want to create your own separate brand identity or brand uniqueness, you may go for publicity or promotion before even your actual production starts. Okay, but you cannot keep those publicity or promotion for ever long. Okay, that suspense thing or that thrilling feature you cannot keep for everlasting, because at one point of time people losing the charm. Okay, so you'll have to identify who is responsible for those tasks, and when is the time schedule for all those tasks, and when such tasks will be starting, and what is the say the time period within which this particular task has to be completed, and who is in charge for that particular task. Okay, then you'll have to identify the start date, duration, and completion. As you know, you have within a you can basically draw a bar chart. Okay, using your MS Excel, you can draw a bar chart to basically specify the timelines, that within this particular time, say from May to June, this particular activity will be completed. So this is your expected time. At the end of the activity, okay, at the end of the activity, when your actual production starts, you may come to know that this particular activity which you have expected that this will continue from May to June, it lasted till the month of September. So you can draw an actual versus expected comparison, and this will help you when in the another business cycle in the years to come. Okay, moving on. So what basically this chart, the chart that is called used for creating such timelines. Okay, so the charts or the pictorial representations, okay, that you will be using in your business plan, the different charts, or the where you note down the several set of activities. Okay, where you note down the schedule of different activities. Okay, so this pictorial representation is basically called Gantt charts. Okay, this is basically called Gantt charts. Okay, now what basically a Gantt chart is? So a Gantt chart is a specialized timeline that provides an easy to grasp visualization of the project. Now you see that speaks 1,000 times more than words. Okay, it is a very well-known concept or a well-known notion that picture speaks 1,000 times more brighter, okay, than a text or a paragraph can do. So basically your a Gantt chart shows you the schedule of all activities in the pictorial format by using graphs and charts and pie charts and all, everything you can do that. Okay. So it is a graphical representation of the necessary time needed for different tasks during a set of time. So within a specific period of time, say within a period of 1 year, these are the different objectives you plan to accomplish within in your startup. So you can go for those objectives. Okay, you can plan those objectives. First of all, you will have to start with task number 1, then task number 2. Then obviously you will get to know, as you keep on preparing it, you will get to know, you'll get an idea that sir, 2 or 3 activities can start at the same time. Okay, or two or these 2 activities, unless and until they are not completed, they are not done, the third activity cannot start. Okay, so this basically pictorial representation that you will be doing in your business plan with the help of charts, it's basically called Gantt charts. Okay, so it shows the beginning and end of different activities and may group them by objectives. Now certain object, now basically when you talk about a business organization, now business organization consists of 2 things. Okay, first of all, they have got a mission, they have got a vision. Okay, and then they have got goals and objectives. Now your overall goal, say your overall goal, okay, your overall goal may be different. Now how can you achieve your overall goal? Your overall goal you will achieve by achieving your, by accomplishing your small objectives. So because your goal is basically nothing, accumulation of several short-term objectives. Okay, your several short-term objectives. Now so basically your this Gantt chart will include the beginning. Okay, you can write down within the Gantt chart. Okay, you can create the beginning and end of different objectives, and different, you can group them by objectives. Say by this is the say this is the marketing plan. Okay, say because when you go for a business plan, you may incorporate that these 4 activities will come under the marketing head, these 3 activities will go under the product procurement head, these 3 activities will go for market linkages, where you where you will connect yourself with the suppliers, your logistics. Okay, and your suppliers, your vendors. Okay, your retailers, your wholesalers, and everyone, you get information regarding them and all. Okay, also you may create training activities. Okay, you may go for training activities for your artisans. Okay, because you pay sometimes you may require to hire additional manpower. Okay, based on your production type. Okay, you may require additional manpower, so those manpowers may be requiring training for that. So you may hire some third party or any agency to give them training. Okay, so this is the particular period of time where the training phase will continue. This is the particular phase of time where where my set of artisans will be given training. Okay, they will be given, they will go for a motivation program. They may also go for design, they may also go for an additional design training, or for contemporary designs or indigenous design. They may also go for intellectual property rights training or something like that. Okay, so different activities that are a part of your business plan. Okay, each and every activities that you plan to do within your project, it has to be highlighted within by your Gantt charts. Now basically, what will the Gantt chart help the other to see, the other people to see, to whom you will be presenting? You will be able to see what are the various tasks you are incorporating in your project, when each task is beginning and when it is ending, how long each task is scheduled to last. Okay, when does 2 or more tasks overlap with another? Because as I've said earlier, that when you prepare your Gantt chart, you will find out that there are certain tasks, they will overlap with each other. Okay, so where there will be certain tasks, they will be starting at the same time. Okay, but one will finish ahead. Okay, and the second might continue, but the fourth task may start at the same time. So overlapping will happen. Okay, so which tasks are getting overlapped, when they are starting, when they are completing, each and everything has to be attributed by this particular Gantt chart. And finally, the start date and the end date of the entire project. Highlighted by the Gantt charts. Okay, now this is moving on. Let's have some illustrations regarding why you need to use Gantt charts. Okay, so basically Gantt charts, they are very easy to use. Okay, the once you start using Gantt charts, you will find very much comfortable. They're very much comfortable to use, and it basically helps you in providing a much better idea of your project. Okay, you will get several examples. You'll get several examples of how to create a Gantt chart in YouTube. You will get, okay, from easy basic level Gantt charts to complement complicated level, okay, high design level, okay, Gantt chart. So each and every tutorial is available there. You can refer them. Okay. Then it basically shows the holistic visual representation of the project, basically the entire project for which you are writing the entire business plan of 100 to 200 page. Okay, so that entire project can be showcased, okay, within one line, within one page. Okay, so you're in with the help of Gantt chart, because your entire project will be basically be represented in the form of graphical representation of your entire business plan will be highlighted. Okay, what is basically growing at the ground level, okay, what basically all the activities are going at the ground level will be highlighted by the Gantt chart. So so that is why it is rightfully said that the holistic visual of the entire project will be provided. Then it is also easy to use and adjust. Okay, and it clearly communicates activities that should be done. So the different activities that has to be done is very well communicated by Gantt charts. Now, but there are also some disadvantages of Gantt chart, or relationship between activities. Now, it will just show that task number 2 and task number 3 is getting overlapped. Now, why they are getting overlapped, you will have to explain it manually. Okay, or you will have to write it in some other section. Okay, and it does not show who is responsible for each activity. Now, you may draw a separate section within your Gantt charts to show that this particular activity will be coordinated by the marketing team. This particular activity will be coordinated by the say the supplier management team, or this particular team, this particular set of activity will be coordinated, say, by the personal management team. Okay, but this is not mandatory for you to show, because the overall objective of the Gantt chart is to show the schedule of activities, the schedule of operations. What is your schedule when each particular task is starting, when which particular task is getting completed. Okay, it is basically shown in a Gantt chart. So you may skip, or you may, if you feel like adding it into your charts, this might be a little more decorative one, but overall it does not. Overall, you may skip this particular step. Next, it is difficult to use in the way that measures progress. Now, as I've said, a Gantt chart is basically the representation of what? Expected versus actual. Expected versus actual. So when you go to a prospective investor, regarding your project, so you have basically gone with an expected timelines. Now, actual timelines may differ. Your actual timelines will get to know when that particular activity actually gets started and actually get completed. But overall, it still gives that particular investor an idea regarding your business sense. Okay, it gives that particular investor an idea, the business sense, that whether you have considered all the the pros and cons associated with the project, okay, before you have drafted it. Okay, then all activities are listed equally and does not highlight activities of greater importance. So all the activities will basically get implemented in the Gantt chart. You are going to illustrate all the activities, but there will be certain activities which are of high priority, and there will be some activities which will be of less priority. So you may use some additional some additional elements, or some additional elements, or say entities which are available in Excel. Okay, to show that this particular activity is of high priority, this particular activity is of less priority. These features are nowadays available in Excel, so you can enlist them in your Gantt charts. So, but overall, when it gets printed on a paper, it gets difficult to identify. Okay, but overall, it will serve the purpose of highlighting the main purpose of your project. Okay, so you can see here, moving on, you can see here a particular, just a basic draft of Gantt chart is basically shown. You can see here that task 1, you can zoom on it, you can pinch your screen, you can see that task 1, you have planned task 1 to be scheduled to start on 21 May, and you are planning that it should get completed by 24th of May. Okay, so you can see task 1 and task 2. You can see task 1 and task 2 are both independent tasks. You can see task 1 and task 2 are both independent tasks, because both of them can get started by 21 of May. Okay, but you can see that task 1 gets completed by 24th of May, but task 2 will keep continuing even after task 1 gets completed. And you cannot start task 3. You can see here, you cannot start task 3 until and unless you can set 20% or 25% of task 2, and you can say around 80% of task 1 is completed. You can see from the chart line that as unless and until 20% of task 2 and around 80% of task 1 is completed, you cannot start with task 3. Okay, so again, until and unless your task 3 starts, okay, you cannot start task 4. Then similarly, task 4, as long as until your task 4 does not start, you cannot start task 5. So this basically graph shows the interdependencies. You can see that task 5 can start. Your task 5 can start only after task 4 has started. But your task 1 and task 2 here are both independent, because both of them can start at the same time, but task 1 is of shorter duration and task 2 is of greater duration. Okay, but task 3 depends, but task 3 is dependent, the task 3 is dependent on both task 1 and task 2, because as long as until both task 1 and task 2 does not get started and they are completed at most 50% or something like that, you cannot start task 3. So this basically Gantt chart shows the interdependencies between the various task. And finally you can see that your final objective, you can say that finally my task is getting completed, my project is getting completed when my task 6, 7 and 8, when my task 6, 7 and 8 which are getting completed at the same time. Your task 6, 7 and 8 are, these 3 tasks are getting completed by 4th of June. So when these 3 tasks are getting completed, then and then only you can say that your overall project has successfully completed its execution. Okay, so this basically is one representation of Gantt chart, which shows the interdependencies between the different tasks that is necessary for the overall completion of your project. Okay, next, this one, this one is also a very important one. Okay, this next one. Okay, yes, you can just pinch on the screen, so you will be able to see. If you just pinch on the screen, you will be able to see you guys may be in your final or pre-final semesters. Okay, so what happens basically, you have to write project reports. Okay, you are given tasks by your departments, your respective departments, to prepare a project report. Okay, where you need to do a survey, you need to fill out questionnaires. You must have heard of it, where you need to fill out questionnaires. You will have to do interview several people, you will have to fill out questionnaires, then you will have to prepare a data collection, you need to go for data collection. Okay, and then finally you have to go for preparing your project. Now this is one thing which you can relate to. So whenever you are asked to write a project, whenever you are asked to write a project, there are 3 things that needs to be considered. First of all, you'll have to consider your research design, how you are going to design your research. Okay, how you are going to plan your project, how you're going to research your design your project. So for that you may use descriptive research, you may go for exploratory design, or you may go for cause and timing, causal research. Okay, whatever research techniques you may follow. Okay, you may go for, as I've said, you may go for descriptive, exploratory, or you may go for causal research. Okay, so first of all you'll have to go for your research design. So you can see the research design, it starts from 14 July. You have considered that your research design will start from 14 July, and by 4th of August you will complete with the design phase. Okay, by designing your research. Now what are the different objectives, subtasks? You can see that research design has got some subtasks. It has got kickoff stage, where you initially kick off with your project. Then it has got your design scope, where you define your scopes and objective, the scope of the project, the overall scope, what are its limitations. Okay, for example, say you have got a limited sample size. Okay, your sample size is limited. Okay, which basically represents the scope of the project. Or say there are some hindrances, for example, your primary data is not available, so you are working with the secondary data only. Okay, also you are revising. Okay, revising the project. Okay, you may have considered several parameters that are to be revised. Okay, some say some strategies that you have built up. Okay, or some testing techniques. Okay, for revising your project data that you receive. Then you, after your you have completed your research design phase. Okay, you may start with the data collection phase. So first of all, what are the different accept tasks? You can see under data collection phase, you may see that there are scheduling interviews, where you have to schedule interviews with your what to say, for the purpose of collecting, schedule interviews for the purpose of collecting your primary data. Then you'll have to conduct those interviews, where you basically prepare questions. Okay, and you ask your subjects to fill it up. Then you go for survey, and then you finally go for analysis. Now after this has been done, you go for final report creation. You go for finally creating your report, where you consider the writing phase, then you go for editing phase, then you prepare the layout, and finally you go for the launch. So this is one particular Gantt chart which might be helpful to you even for your say for your project purpose, or say for your end semester purpose. So this is one schedule of activities. This you may attach in your final report which you will be preparing. Okay, you may also attach to it to basically show the timeline or the schedule of activities that you have followed. So this particularly is a very good good practice to attach a say a timeline of activities that you have basically followed while preparing your project report. So this you can adopt. Okay, this is also one thing that I have taken up during my during my student time. Okay, submission of project reports and everything. So these are the different schedule of activities that you so this is all one representations of Gantt. There is no fixed that you will have to follow this particular form, or you will have to follow this particular structure or something. So there is a structure that you can follow. Structure, you may find different formats available. You may find different formats available online. So you may adapt any such format. Okay. Also, templates are also available. Okay. Nowadays, templates are also available online. So you don't have to create. You don't have to put in lot of hard work to create a chart. So templates are also available. You can easily download that template. Okay, and you just keep on filling it. Okay, I have shown one template. Okay, here also. So this is also another particular type of Gantt chart that you can use. So again, this is also one particular Gantt chart that you can use, where you go for writing a proposal. Okay, then you first of all, so you can see this is another particular Gantt chart where you can show a comparison between scheduled and actual. Okay, say at the end of your first year of business implementation, where you compare your actual time that has been taken, okay, and your expected time and actual time. So this is another one which you can use. Okay, it shows the comparison between your scheduled and actual set of activities. So this is on the next one. So this is another one. This is the demo. Okay, so this is basically a template. You can see this is basically a template. This thing is available online. You can go to okay, just go to Google and type Gantt chart template. So this particular format will get downloaded. So you can edit on it. Okay, this particular format will get downloaded and you can edit on it. You can see several activities are there, and this is one of the very detailed one that I have found. Okay, so several activities are there, 26 set of activities. You can edit the names of activity 01 to say constructing the plan site. So you can use this particular template. Okay, this is available online. You can just download it and you can start working on it in a go. Okay, next, moving on, some relatable one. Say this is one Gantt chart that I have found. Okay, for organic farming. Okay, so what are the different set of activities that you need to consider? Okay, so this basically shows for a for 12 quarters. Okay, for the first 3 years, the different set of activities that has been considered. Okay, while going for organic farming. So you can see that appointment of senior research fellow and project staffs and workers. So this basically is taking how much? So it in the first year it will be done in the first quarter, and that's the third quarter. In the second year it will be done in the green boxes. The green cells basically shows timeline. Okay, so this is basically one you can use. Okay, next, this is the timeline, and finally you have got one more. Okay, surveys. This is one more. You can use multicolor. So this is also helpful, and these things are available online. These are the different types of charts or Gantt charts that you can use for preparing your charts, Gantt charts and all. Okay, so I hope this illustration is pretty clear. Okay, so this might be a help to you guys. Okay, considering your business plan preparation. Okay, so this is from my end. This is from my end for Gantt preparation. Now, continue the would like the host to come in. Okay, so this is from my end. Thank you. If you have any questions, you can ask. Okay, so this is all about Gantt charts.
Your dear students, now you can interact. If any point of Gantt chart is not clear, because these things will be required as a part of your project, so you feel free to interact.
Students, you can ask question, because this is a very important tool for your business plan, as well as it is a very important tool for even for exam preparation or maybe any project preparation in your college. So if you have any question on this Gantt chart, you can ask, because it's a very important tool, just to note it.
Yeah, dear student, this Gantt chart has to be included in your project also, business planning. So if any point is not clear, you feel free to interact.
And though there are many software available for doing the Gantt chart, but what I suggest, you should use it in a simple Excel sheet, Excel file only. You just prepare the Gantt chart. uh, I hope everyone is aware of the use of the Excel. So just an Excel file would do, and this goes as an attachment in appendices of the business plan Gantt chart. You can make it in a large paper for the printing purpose. When you put up the hard copy of the business plan, you can just get it printed on an big size of paper in a landscape format, and then attach into the business plan. All right, students, do you have any question, or at least you can put in the chat box also if you're not comfortable in talking. So you can put in chat box also. Any question from your side on entire series of the webinars we have taken, or anything you would like to know from the entire topic, all the topics?
Hello. So
Yes.
the discussion part is over for the last session.
Yes, madam. Yes.
Okay, then I think we'll request everybody to put on their videos. Can we? So that we wind up the, we have the last. Professor Jai is already here. Professor Dr. Nino is here. And Professor Tompang.
So far, they are not seen. If they are here, I don't know. But in the list, I can't see.
Professor Tompang. I told them at 5:45.
Yes, join
It's
hand.
already. They are
Professor
there?
Tompang is
Yeah,
there.
I'm here, ma'am. I'm in, ma'am.
Okay,
Professor
Professor
Tangpong here joined.
Dongbang is here. Yeah, okay. And I think all the students are here. So we'll just have a small, formal, not very formal, but a little, little formal, informal program to wind up this program. So I request all the students to also kindly put on the video so that we can see you. We have met everyone, a panelist and not an attendee. So we request everyone. And we've just chalked out a small program. So I'd like to request Professor Tong Pang to chair this program. And then Professor Kekeja, who has been there all through, will give the brief report. And then we'll be requesting the students. I think Professor Jia has already told the students. So we would like to get feedback from them. And then we would like to hear from the resource person. So maybe Soman can represent or somebody else. That's up to them. Then I will also give my remark, and then we end up with vote of thanks. So I'd like to request give time to Professor Tongpang.
Okay. First of all, good evening to all everybody who are present here this evening in the valedictory session of the 10 days training program, the webinar, which was hosted by Steiner, AMU SASA, and CPMA, and get resource persons from a galaxy of resource persons from different areas, from different subjects and experts who had really shared their experiences, especially for the students. They have been trained in business plan proposal and all the methods and subjects and everything associated with it. So thank you so much, first of all, on behalf of SASA, on behalf of the students, and on behalf of the university. I would like to extend my thanks and gratitude to all the resource persons, and also to all the members of the student related program. So, well, with due respect to our Dean Madam, Professor Alice Sema, she has taken very keen interest in this training, and it is she who had gone all out to arrange this 10 days training, and I'm very grateful to her for her tireless contribution and also the immense interest she's been taking in this program, especially made up for the students of SASA, particularly the final year students who have been attending this training for the last 10 days. So thank you to our Madam Dean, Professor Agnes Sema, and also to my colleague, Professor Kekecha and Dr. Nino, for taking keen interest in this program. Now, to start with the short valedictory program, first of all, I would like to give time to Professor Kekecha to present a short report of the workshop. So please, Professor Kekecha, please take your time.
Thank you, Professor Tangpang. Good evening to all. Professor Tangpang, he is the LP coordinator also. So, Professor Tangpang, coordinator of ELP and chairman of today's program. Professor Akali Semadin, SASARD, my other SRP members, the whole team of time who has taken the pain to organize such a nice program. So, Mr. Somin Das, the director of time, and all resource persons who are present here. Before I go for presenting the report of this particular 10 days program, I'd like to simply mention as a remark that this is one of the program, a very unique program which has been organized by Steiner in association with our dean, which will go in a very meaningful way in the days to come for all our final year students. The very objective of this program was to make them own different specific skills which can make them a say budding entrepreneur as well as complete their ELP program in a very skillful manner. So keeping these points in view, the program was meticulously planned by our dean, in association with the time. And of course, some of the feedback was received from the core committee members also. So the basic objective of this program was having this entrepreneurship as well as business planning. Program has started on 10th of September with first deliberation on objective of the program, talking about entrepreneurship as a career, motivating the student why they should go for taking entrepreneurship as a career, motivating them how to prepare a business model. And this first session was taken by the time director, Mr. Somendas. So this topic was dealt very nicely because say most of the time when I see our students, they are having talents, lots of talent within them. But when it comes to actualization of the talent, then they feel shy. They always feel shy to implement whatever the knowledge, whatever skill they have. So motivating the students in this particular course program was also one of the main objective, and that was taken into care to start the program. The next session was to discuss about effective business communications and business writing. Here, writing part, how to go for a good communication, how to go for writing a business proposal to any organization so that they may get proper finance from the financial institution. All these aspects were covered. The next session was taken again by Mr. Somen Das, detailed on how to develop business plan. What are the contents of business plan, and specifically in particular BCM, business canvas model. And business plan and business canvas model, we had to repeat this one for better memory of the students so that the students can learn in a better way. Here I want to say that especially business canvas model, when it was deliberated for the first time, students, most of the students, they could gain some knowledge. But when I interacted with them, then I could find that let this topic may be taken once more again so that they get insight into the topic and they can develop the model first, because this model is the basic aspect of the program based upon which they can develop a very good business plan. Coming to this part of business plan, the main core crux of the business planning, it has started because Mr. Samendas has given a great deliberation on that, giving all the subparts of the whole business plan, how to write an executive summary, how to go for developing the product, means idea generation on product, what type of products can be developed, what type of services can be provided, how to go for management of the team which is developed by the entrepreneurs. Then marketing and competition, because an entrepreneur has to know about the different types of prevailing market as well as the new market which he has to compete. How to write, how to go for planning the marketing structure, because two aspects are there. One is marketing, other one is sales. So both aspects of marketing and sales has to be well documented in the business plan. Then business systems and organization, prevailing one and how to strengthen up, operations and management plan, opportunity and risk involved in starting a new enterprise, financial plan, and the last part, the appendix, which even we emphasize that in case of appendix, now for this current batch of a student, they should include Gantt chart as well as business canvas model, because we have taken in this into detailed aspect. So I'll be coming to the Gantt chart a little later, but business canvas model has to be also included in the appendix. So this topic on business plan, business canvas model, and how to write a project report was also taken in depth on 12th of September. The next session was on opportunity identification, idea assessment, on product and services development perspective. And Mr. Manosis Datta, if I remember, I don't know he is here or not, he could also really motivated
Yes, sir.
our
Yes, sir.
student. Oh, you are here. Okay, that's nice. I have found
Okay.
him earlier also. Yeah, very good motivator, and he can really take class into action. Almost all the students gave their response on that particular day. I am really thankful to you, sir, and especially our students also who could really participate
Thank
in
you,
the
you
program.
too, sir.
Yeah, okay. So next session was on basics of sales and marketing, and then marketing plan. The next was process of setting an enterprise, legal and regulatory aspects. So actually in this particular topic, process of setting up an enterprise, this goes beyond this ELP program also, because when the student will graduate after BSc final year, when they will get a degree, Now, at least all of them, they are well aware of how to start an enterprise. So how to start an enterprise, what are the legal aspects, what type of formalities are required, how to start an MSME, all those things have been discussed in great detail under this topic. Another important topic covered was operations management. I think Mr. Prasanjit Chakravarti, I don't know whether he is here or not, if I could correctly remember. So he has given a good deliberation
Yes,
on
I'm here.
operations management here, operations management. And today in
Yes,
line
sir.
with that, even he has taken this Gantt chart that is also very much essential. So students now need to know how to develop this operation management because all the activities have to be break up very precisely and then time management has to be done based on that. Next topic was taken by basics of finance, accounting and financial statements. That was also dealt very nicely. Then organizational structure and team management. This is also one of the important aspects. Unless you have a very good team of all from all the sectors in a particular organization, you can't excel in your business. So this was also covered in a very nice way. Next topic was digital marketing, effective use of social media. This has been covered today only in one of the sessions. This could not be covered earlier as per the schedule because resource person was not well. So today he has covered how social media can play a great role in terms of digital marketing of the products. And then time management with focus on learning or planning tool using especially Gantt chart, especially whenever we develop any project. And this Gantt chart is one of the very important tool and that we have to make use. So dear student, you need to develop your timeline because when your activities are planned in a timely manner, you are fully confident that you will be accomplishing your work in time. So try to develop in Excel sheet as our resource person has already shared the idea that you can start with developing this Gantt chart, making your breaking your different activities in a particular timeline, and then you can include this one as a part of your business planning in terms of appendix. So overall program was very nice. According to me, I have observed that all the resource person, they have given their best. They are fully dedicated. They try to motivate our students in a fullest way. And I hope that the students will take all these learnings in a, say in the future so that they can be a successful entrepreneur. Before I end my remark and my report on this particular session, I could say that most of our students, they are already know that entrepreneurs are not born. Most of the time we say entrepreneurs are not born, but they may be created. And this is the time, and particularly in respect of this program, we can say that having such a nice program by such a renowned persons and resource person, now really we are in a phase that our students, they can be a budding entrepreneur. So really on this day I can say that we have created an opportunity. We have tried to give a best opportunity for all the students so that everybody, each one of you can be an entrepreneur. So we are really trying to create entrepreneurship. So the students, you should also make it a point in your mind that whatever efforts we are taking, whatever efforts taken by society is taken into account. You should also repay in terms of giving the best, whatever you have. So with this, I conclude my points in terms of making a report of this program. Thank you.
Professor Tumpang, you have to
Professor
unmute.
Tongpong, over to you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Professor Kekecha, for the exhaustive report on the workshop. Now we would like to give time to the students for feedback. So I don't have any names who will be coming forward for the feedback, but I would like to call up one or a couple of students to kindly share your feedback. Students, please. Yeah. Yeah. CR. Will it be the CR or assistant CR?
Yeah, CR or ACR, anyone, or if they have
Yeah.
given this responsibility to them.
Who will be giving the feedback? Yeah, please, from the students. Yeah, take your time now.
Am I audible?
Yeah, yeah.
Hello, sir.
Little louder, please.
Okay, sir. First of all, Being the CR, I show my gratitude on behalf of everyone for such a wonderful
Hello,
session.
can you just kindly show your
Ma'am,
face? I mean, we'd like to see
ma'am,
you when you're talking.
the network is too bad right now. I can't even like turn on.
All right.
Okay, so first of all, being the CR, I show my gratitude on behalf of everyone for such a wonderful session. And also highly thank all the panelists and also the committee for beating all the odds and taking their time to guide and teach us more about entrepreneurship and how to turn the challenges into an opportunity. So my feedback regarding the sessions, I think it was okay because no matter how good the session may be, editing or taking it on online platforms are quite troublesome and new. And also the fact that most of us have poor network connectivity and are still yet to get used to online sessions. But overall, for me, it was a good experience. And yeah, I learned quite some stuffs. So yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you, CR, for the
Anyone
kind
else or
remarks.
only CR?
Yeah.
Anyone else or only CR?
Anyone else from the students?
I think we should request others also to kindly
Hello?
give their.
Yeah.
Anybody else apart from the CR?
Hello?
Yeah, please.
Hello, am I audible?
Yeah,
Yes,
you're
you.
audible. Yes.
Oh,
please
actually,
take
I'm
your
really
time.
sorry. I'm facing some network issues, so I'm unable to turn on my microphone.
No
I'm
problem.
unable to turn on my camera. So I hope it's fine.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's fine. Okay,
So
please
actually,
carry
first
on.
of all, I really want to thank the resource person for imparting their valuable knowledge. Thank you so much. And I believe that all of us are now equipped to become budding entrepreneurs. But then there's one thing that I would like to mention. Of course, there is time limit is there, and then our resource persons have to cover up a lot of topics in a very short time. But then I would suggest that is, suppose if we have any sort of seminar like this in the coming future, then it would be really nice if we could have breaks, like short breaks in between, so that the attendees will not get distracted or bored. So that's all. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much for your honest remarks, kind of feedback. Of course, in the near future, we will try to at least have some recreation time also. Well, again, anybody among the students to share your feedback? I will give time to one more student. Yeah. SC, are you interested? Assistant CR?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
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 Yes, sir. The same thing. It was a really nice experience. Even it was through an online platform, but yes, the speakers, they tried to explain their best with very informative slides, and we also tried our best to sit in front of our cell phone and watch these long sessions. And sir, I love to attend. We all will love to attend this session in person also, if we get a chance when we come back. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much for the kind remarks from all the students. I hope that you have been now well educated with the entrepreneurship development and the business plan and how to be enterprising and how to succeed in your future business. Fields. Okay, thank you. Now I would like to give time to the resource persons. So may I call upon Mr. Songan Das, the Director of Time, to kindly give a brief remark. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. And first of all, I would like to thank the entire committee, Steiner committee, for taking this initiative, and special thanks to Madam for organizing this and make it happen. And also we really thank to Jha sir for being in the session for all the time. and also motivating the student to ask question and then interact more. I really would like to appreciate all the students because I have been attending all the day, so I never found that student are dropping huge in a number. So more or less most of the students were attending the session, and that's really appreciable, because online sessions people hesitate to attend, but this team, this entire group, I have found that they were attending the session. Now thing is left to you. We have done our job. Your committee member has done their job. And the core team of the Steiner has really done a great initiative of keeping making aware of the business plan to the students. And now it is students' job to deliver. And again, I would like to say that since you have an ELP program, and this is this is a very interesting program. After hearing this program about this program from Madam and also Sir, that this kind of program exists in your college, you are lucky. You're lucky, that you not only get the theoretical aspect, and also get the practical aspect. I being from IIM, I can tell you that even in IIM we don't have this kind of practical program of implementing such thing in the college campus itself when you are in the final year. And you are lucky enough, you're fortunate enough to have this kind of program, not only on the theory but also in the practical. So now it is your job to make everything, use of everything, the theory and the practical. And then maybe if you're able to start one venture after you pass out, it's a great achievement for you. Remember that no college is now providing good placement, and I'm sure it will not be exception to even the universities or the colleges we are in the Northeast. So it is hard time for all of us, all the graduating students who pass out, to get a good job. And entrepreneurship is really a very good opportunity for this time, and post COVID, it will be a very good opportunity for all of you. So it's request to all the students that focus on the idea which you are working on, and then work on it, and contribute towards the society, contribute towards Northeast. That's that will be great from your side. From being from Northeast, if you can create some employment in Northeast through entrepreneurship, that is a wonderful job you will be doing, and that will be your learning from the university of the entire course. So that is from my side. Any other resource person, if you want to comment on anything, you can please. Thank you, the organizer, and special thank again to Madam and Jhasar, Madam Akali and Jhasar, for being there for the entire time for the sessions, and also the core committee, all the members who have organized this. And there was no technical flaw. That is again I would like to appreciate. There's no technical flaw in the entire 10-day session. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Mantas, for your kind remarks and also your really precious words of encouragement to our students. And I do hope that the students will really remember your kind words of encouragement. And also we will be working very hard to be a successful entrepreneur in the near future. I can see many of our resource persons here. We have Monosistas, we have Madam Pitu Chetri, we have Prasanjit Chakrabarti. So I would like to give time to you all if you would like to say some words of encouragement to our students, please.
Can I just say a couple of words?
Sure. Yeah, please.
Yeah, I think Somendas has mentioned all on our behalf, but still I would like to say thank you for this positive experience, and thank you for allowing us to use our knowledge and skills for the betterment of the students and their future goals. Thank you again for giving us such a wonderful teaching experience, sincerely and with much gratitude. I would also like to thank the students for creating an environment conducive to teaching. I can just wish you all the best, and thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am, for your really kind words of encouragement and also your sacrificial attitude to educate our students in this part of the program. Now, I would like to again give time to any of the resource persons to kindly, yeah, share your views or maybe a brief remark on this training program which we had. Yeah. Anybody interested? Okay, well then we will move on to the next program. Now we'll have a remark by our respected team, Professor Akali Sema. So, Madam, please take your time.
Okay, good evening, everyone. And thank you so much, Professor Tongpang, for giving the time. And I would like to thank the time team, especially Solomon, for these wonderful sessions that you have had, according to the report of Professor Jha. There are quite some points that I would like to mention here, and I think I'll take that privilege because our Dr. Nino, she won't be speaking, so I'm going to take her time, as well as I think I'll also take the time as part of the Steiner, because I'm also leading Steiner. So I think as Dean as well as Steiner, I'll take this opportunity. So I just want to tell to my students that I think this program, as we conceive it in the beginning, the main idea behind was that like the program that we have, this SRP, Student Ready Program, is all about preparing you to be ready for getting for being employed or for starting your own enterprise. And basically this ELP is to make you equipped to become an entrepreneur one day, to take up your enterprise. And so with this objective in mind, when Soman contacted, in fact, we had a program earlier also with Soman, and I knew Soman. So he being from this sector and he's working for the Northeast, we thought that we can bring up a very good program. So where we can not only our BSc final year students, but also other students who are interested to join, so that they not only focus on the business proposal, which is of course the one first mandate, but also to make their minds alert, and so that they don't just look for government jobs, but be ready to take up an enterprise. That was the main focus. All the time, my entire focus has always been to let our students think beyond getting a job. There had always been a trend that the students only and only look for a job first. They don't put being an entrepreneur as the first priority. Now, looking at the present scenario, as what Soman also rightly pointed out, looking at the, when we had gone through this COVID, the whole time under the pandemic, we have observed that agriculture, the food sector, has been one of the very, very booming sector in business. And I think the future lies in the business in food. And agriculture student, I think, holds the major share in this. And I would like our students who are just getting into final year, and where your whole year, the program is going to focus on this, that now that you have gone through this 10 days, awareness, kind of awareness program, and also teaching you how to prepare the business proposal, we hope that this seed that the time team has sown in you will bear fruits. We hope that all the efforts that is put in by our core committee, the Steiner, and the whole SASAR will one day bear fruit. And we hope to see some of you, at least few of you, becoming an entrepreneur, taking up your enterprise someday. We realized during this pandemic that many of the people started online business. Many of the people start doing this home delivery for foods and all that. But unfortunately, our agriculture graduates were not much into it. And that's quite sad for us, in a sense that many of the youngsters who were doing it were not from agriculture sector. They were from other sectors, even in Nagaland. So I really feel that it's high time that our agriculture students realize this, the importance sector in which you are in at this point of time. And you are in your prime age, very, very prime age to take that decision and become an entrepreneur one day. That's our dream. And that's our, wish and prayer that one day you become an entrepreneur. So with this, I would like to once again request our students to kind of revive, kind of recollect whatever you have taken during this 10-day session. I'm sure you have your notes, and we will also try to provide you this recording of this whole 10-day session. I want you to go through this very categorically, very, very critically, and then try to learn as much as possible. Maybe, it's a new thing, so maybe many of you have missed out in some points or the other, and some sessions you may not have understood fully. But we're going to provide you the whole recording of this, and we'd like to request you that if you go through once again, I'm sure it'll become much more clearer to you. And I'm hoping that some of you will take it seriously. And by the end of this ELP program, which ends in December this year, we hope that you will make it a reality, some of the things that you have learned during this time, team training and workshop. So I also want to share with the team, the resource team, from the time that you, as all of you, I see you're all youngsters, and then you are trying your best to help the youngsters in the Northeast to bring up, to come up, to come up in this line. So we want to wish you all the best, and we hope that you will be able to do so in the different parts of the Northeast. And we hope that one day our Northeast youth will come up and become an entrepreneur, and we become not just a region which is only, we talk about potential, 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 but we hope that we will really, really explore, and we'll be able to make this opportunity, this potential, a reality and opportunity to bank on. So with this, I want to wish the team the very best, and hope to see you again in some platforms. And like one of the students just gave the feedback that they would like to take the session physically. So we hope that one day we'll be able to call you to our campus, and we hope that when good days come, we'll be able to see and interact more on this. And as I said, I'll have to also, because my Steiner team, one of the members, she is traveling and she's not able to give the propose the vote of thanks. So I'll take that opportunity as well. So thanking everyone, especially I'd like to thank Professor K.K. Jha for his all day presence during the whole session. More than any one of us, I think he was present. I also wished to be present, but then time did not permit me. So I'm sorry for that. But then Professor Jha had been all through. So really thanks, big thanks to Professor Jha. Then Professor Nino, Dr. Nino, who had also been, I think, there. Then Professor Tongpang, who's the in charge of this ELP, for ever supporting and being there. And though it's a Steiner program, because our main mandate is to have this entrepreneurial atmosphere in the whole state. So with the collaboration with the core team, we could organize this program. So on behalf of the Steiner team, we would like to really thank the core team, and also the time team, especially Soman and his colleagues. And also, I want to thank all the students. I heard a lot of interactions that had gone. In the beginning, they have hesitation, but they have been able to pick up. So I want to also thank all the students. It was a long session, but I'm sure you have benefited a lot. So from all of us Steiner team, we would like to thank all of you. And also, just on behalf of everybody, I want to thank Lawrence, who is from the Steiner team, who is the one who has always been behind the scene, and all through these 10 days program, he's there always. So thank you so much, Lawrence, as well. So I want to just wind up here by thanking everybody. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Madam Dean, for your kind words of encouragement, for the enthusiasm you have to keep our students always on their foot and always keep them learning, and also for arranging this very, very useful program. Being in charge of STINER, I feel that really this program is one among the best program which have been organized especially for our students. I hope that the students will work much harder. They will be, very enthusiastic, and also I feel that they should not miss out on whatever opportunities is being brought to them through this teaching and learning process which we had for the last 10 days. Well, dear students, as we all know, the real motto of Experiential Learning Program, ELP, is that to be an employment provider, but not to be an employment seeker. So I will look forward to all of you to be employment provider, but not an employment seeker. Because as you all know, hard work always pays. Okay, I still remember my mother's voice when I was in my school days, that she would always tell me that work hard never killed anybody. But if we go on without food and water for a few days, then it will kill anybody. So those words always ring in my ears in the time when I'm tired and I'm fatigued to do anything. So it refreshes my mind, and I can work harder and much harder than before. So hard work really pays. So students, you see, it will be just a small iota of inspiration, but without inspiration, without hard work, if you have a full set of inspiration, it will never work for you. So remember that hard work always pays. So we all look forward to you to be successful in your future days. So our wishes and our prayers are always with you, students. So please show to the entire people of Northeast, to the entire people of Nagaland, to the entire people of your state, that we should be not only resource rich, but we should be resourceful in our day-to-day life. So that is all I would like to say to my students. And also, once again, I thank all the resource persons. I thank STINER. I thank our Professor Dean Madam, my colleagues, and everybody who are present here this evening. And we hope to meet you again, of course, in person, so that we can interact much more better and more, in a more fruitful way. So thank you so much. So we'll wrap it up here. Thank you and good night. Bye.
Everyone, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Virtual
Thanks a
bye-bye.
lot.
Okay. And
Yeah, good night.
Yeah, good night.
also